We are live, baby. That's right. It's that time. It is the Academy Sports podcast show, live in living color. It's just one of me tonight. I'm sad to report. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that serious. It's just me tonight, though. JWill in the building. Welcome to the show. We are rolling with solo tonight because Dre is being an adult. And you know what that means? It means he is working. He's working late. So he's taking care of his family. So it's just me in the building tonight. Appreciate you guys joining us as always. Hopefully you're watching us on one of our platforms, mainly YouTube. If you can follow us on YouTube at Academy Sports Show, make sure you hit the bell, make sure you hit the like, make sure you share. Let everybody know you're watching live. Let everybody know it's that time. Also, you might be watching this on my Facebook page, or you might be watching this on Dre's Facebook page, because with lovely technology, I can still go live and hijack his page and still get everything taken care of. So we got a big show ahead of us tonight, man. I hope you guys are here. I hope you have a lot to say, because I got a lot to talk about. Let me just make sure I got the comments ready. If you're in the live feed, let me know you're there. Let me know you're in the building, so that way I can make sure I shout you out. I'm going to need you tonight. Definitely going to need you tonight. I'm going to need your comments. I'm going to need your thoughts. I'm going to need everything, because I got some questions to ask. I do. I got some questions to ask. I got some things to say. And I want to hear, what y'all got to, say about some things. I see y'all in the building. Hey, Mama V, my mama is in the house. Produced by PD is in the building. Appreciate y'all joining us. So let's get right to it. 3 things on the docket tonight, okay? I'm in the state of Michigan, so it's a big week here. It's always a big week. No matter how bad your team is, it's always a big week. And it's a big week here. It's the week leading up to the game. Those of us who live in the Midwest know what that means. It's Michigan, Ohio State. We got to talk about it. I mean, we are a sports show, so we have to have somewhat of a discussion. But there's also been some news around these parts lately about the contract of Jim Harbaugh. Now, a few weeks back, I gave my feedback on how I felt about that. But there's still more talk, and there's more rumors. There's more things being said. And I don't like what I'm hearing. So I just want to share my thoughts, and I want to get everybody's thoughts on that tonight. Also, we got to talk about the soap opera that is the NBA. It is a soap opera. It is the NBA. That is what it is. It's nowhere else to explain it. It's no other way to talk about it. It is the drama that can carry you for months. And we're getting it this year at an odd time, right? Because we had it through the summer, the bubble. You all know what happened. The Lakers came out as the national champs. Still got college football on my mind. But the Lakers came out as the world champs. And now the season's about to start again here in December. And we got some things to talk about, because there's been some free agent signings. There's been some trades. Just recently, Russell Westbrook is now a Washington Wizard. I want to talk about it. I want to know what you think. I want to know how you feel about that. Does that shift any power for you? What does that say about the Rockets? Also, Mr. Harden himself, Mr. MVP, Mr. Scoring Champ, he didn't show up for practice on his first day. COVID protocols. However, he was in the ATL at a party. Okay. No mask. None of that. I'm not here to have a political debate, but I am interested to hear what you think about that and give my opinion on it. Plus, we got to talk about the NBA. I mean, the Lakers are the prohibitive favorites starting out here. Is there anybody else that can beat them? So that we'll get into. And, of course, week 14 or week 13 in the NFL is wrapping up. Right now, Pittsburgh is up on Washington 14-3. And then you have Dallas and Baltimore tomorrow. You also have Buffalo and San Francisco tonight. But over the weekend, we had some moments, some big things happening in the NFL. One, the Seahawks lost to the Giants. Now, everybody's saying the Giants are playing hard. I don't want to harp too bad on the Giants right now, because they're coming up on the schedule for my team. in a couple weeks, so I don't want to have to eat my words. But nobody expected the Giants to get that win. Seahawks were held to a season low in scoring, actually a 3-season low. They haven't scored those points, that least amount of points in years. They were in a lot of people's top 5. A couple people that listen to this show, frequent listeners of this show, frequent viewers of this show, Seahawks fans. I hope you're in the building tonight. I hope you're here because I want to hear from you. They couldn't score. This time it wasn't the defense. They couldn't score. And also, hey, man, you're going to hear this a lot tonight. Matter of fact, I wore a shirt in honor, thanks to my co-host. I'm going to have to stand up and show it to you. Yeah. Y'all already know. We got to get it in tonight. Cleveland! This is for you. We are 9-3, baby. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. We are 9-3. You're going to hear that a lot tonight. But we'll talk about it when we get to the end. If I just have to throw that out there, because I'm going to get it in tonight. No Dre tonight. Again, I miss my bro. He's at work. He might be sneaking and listening to us on his AirPods. He's going to hear me say Cleveland numerous times. He can't ring the bell. He can't do anything to me. Now he can't stop me. But again, I appreciate y'all joining me, man. Stick with me tonight. Lot to talk about. We're going to get right into it. Again, I see y'all in the building. I see Leonardo just threw his comment in there. He laughed a little bit. Talk to me tonight, y'all. Talk back to me. Let me know what's going on. I'm trying to do this thing solo. We want to make sure we put out a consistent product every week. So we're going to get right into it. So first and foremost, let's talk. It's the game. It's coming up this weekend. Let's just start with the high level stuff. Michigan is an underdog by 30 points. I'll say it again. Michigan is an underdog by 30 points. That's ridiculous. As an alum, as a fan, that is ridiculous. That goes to show you how bad of a season this has been. All things considered, 2020, no offseason, all that other stuff. Yep. But Michigan is an underdog by 30. Now, history has it in this game that things can happen. History has it in this game that upsets have happened in moments where you thought for sure it was going to go a certain way. And tables turn and it went another way. This year, that's the side of the fence we live on, Michigan fans. We live on the side of the fence that says, I hope that this is one of those years that goes down in history where we upset them somehow, some way. Now, I'm going to be realistic with you. Talk to me. Do you think we have a shot? Not a shot to cover the spread. A shot to win this game. Ohio State is favored by 30. And if you remember over the summer, or not even over the summer, it was earlier on this year, during media days and a lot of the press calls and things like that, there was a little back and forth going on between Mr. Day, Coach Ryan Day from Ohio State, and Coach Harbaugh. And it was kind of put out there. We're going to hang 100 on y'all. What y'all think? Is that happening this week? Can the Buckeyes put up 100 on Michigan? I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I don't feel any type of way. This is called, it's like being a Lions fan. Low expectations, right? Right? I mean, listen, I could take shots tonight. I could troll tonight. No Dre to stop me. But it's like being a Lions fan, right? Isn't that? I mean, no expectations, right? So when you lose, it's nothing to worry about. When you lose, you don't have to be upset because you didn't really expect to win. That's how I'm going into this game. I'm like every other team in the Big Ten that's facing Ohio State this year, not named Indiana. Leonardo says, as long as Harbaugh is still running the same tired offense, Buckeyes will get 70 plus. That's fair. I can't knock you on that. I have no rebuttal for that because I think you're absolutely right. I think that we still look outdated offensively. We're extremely young defensively, so clearly we're not stopping anybody. And that's let's just call it what it is. This team has been decimated by draft picks and the big player on offense, our wide receiver, Nico, left. Hope he does well in the NFL. But there wasn't a lot of turnover. My brother's in the building. What's up, Cedric? So, Ohio State, Michigan. Leonardo says if they keep running the same offense, the Buckeyes can hang 70. Is this realistic? Are there any fans out there that feel like there's a chance that this is a storied upset? Is this a Tim Biaka-Batuka moment? Is this a ruin your season moment? Is this an opportunity for Harbaugh to make a statement and to save his? Is that this, or is this over with the halftime? Now, that's the game in itself. There's no breakdown of this. They're faster. They're more complete. Their defense is better. I'm not an unrealistic Michigan guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not a fanatic when it comes to sports. There's a moment where you have to go from being fanatical and be analytical and realize, especially if you have a podcast about sports, you gotta know what you're talking about. You can't just be saying crazy stuff. So I'm not gonna sit up here and talk crazy. I'm not gonna sit up here and predict the upset. Honestly, 30. You think you can make some money this weekend on this spread, or are they not even gonna cover the spread? Mama V says, if last Saturday's game is any indication of what's to come, OSU is winning. If she's referring to the Michigan State game, that is probably a good indication of what's to come. Now, the breakdown of this game is simple. OSU is a better football team. That's it. There's not a spot on this field. There's not a position on a depth chart that you're going to say advantage Michigan. Okay? Now I'm hearing from some people. Talk to me. Dude's Dad 11 says it's going to be ugly. Kobe says we aren't playing. Cedric, are we going to have a full squad? Well, listen, Ryan Day's back today. You still got a quarterback in Justin Fields who's going to play. Enough said. I don't know how I would feel, Michigan fans, if we don't play this game because of COVID. Like, if we don't really play because of COVID, okay. But if we use the COVID excuse to not play, is that okay? I don't know. Ohio State has Michigan beat at every single position. Bigger, stronger, more athletic. I agree, Leonardo. There it is. So, there's really nothing to talk about with the game outside of that's just what it is. It's going to happen. We're going to see it if it happens. If it doesn't, it'll be because of COVID. But there's some other news lingering around these parts that I'm bothered by. Reports. Let me put it up on the screen. I gotta hear what y'all think about this. I was getting ready for tonight's show. A friend of mine reached out to me on Facebook and said, "Hey man, did you hear?" And I thought, "Oh no, they didn't." That's not how that's supposed to go. Let's go back to this screen. All right. Rumors has it that there's a 3-year deal on the table. Let I'm just letting that sink in for you for a second. Rumor has it that there's a 3-year deal on the table. A 3-year deal with a easier buyout that would allow for him to stay in Ann Arbor. But then if it doesn't work, then you buy him out for a cheaper price. Kobe says, I will feel good if we don't play. They will never know if this is an excuse or not. This means Michigan wins. No. I'm with you on the not playing. Doesn't mean we win. Dude's Dad 11 says, no extension. That is his response to me putting up the article. Kobe says, I'm good with it. I'll back it all the way. Leonardo says, that's got to be a joke. I thought it was too. But I Googled it. And the first thing that popped up was rumor is 3 years. And there's a couple articles out there about the possibility of returning. Are you kidding me right now? Absolutely not. Listen, I can't believe I'm saying this. I was so excited. I read every blog I could read every day when he left San Francisco. I was trying to read the tea leaves. I wanted Harbaugh. I wanted him here. I wanted a Michigan guy. I wanted a guy that had success. I wanted to be like these other schools that go out and get these coaches that have had success and they become more successful. And this is where we got. This is what we got. This is where we are. I'm ready for him to go. I'm ready. I want a Luke Fickell. I want somebody, I want a young guy that left somewhere, went somewhere, built up that program, proved themselves, and now it's time to come here. I want somebody who's in touch with the player. Jim Harbaugh will probably go to the league and be successful again, but probably leave again too. But are you kidding me? An extension? You know what, Kobe? You're right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for jumping in the feed tonight and talking with me. I'm rolling solo. Dre's out being an adult right now, working late. So I need y'all tonight, and I appreciate it. We have been more successful. You're right. When he came in, it was bad, right? It was low. We were down, right? Rich Rod, Brady Hoke, we were in a bad place. I get it. But we're back to being in a bad place again, guys. I don't know why they would want him to stay, Cedric. That's what I'm asking. Dude's dad said he should quit. I don't want this to get ugly there, Lucky. There are no fans this year. They're absolutely right. It would have been ugly. It would have been bad. I just don't understand. Now, is it 2020? Is it just a 2020 effect? Might this have been a better year if they had an offseason? Might this have been a better year if this wasn't a pandemic and everything just went as normal? Maybe we would be in a better scenario, no? No? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But this is where we are. I don't want him back. I'm sorry. I don't want him back. Not another 3 years. If somehow, some way you want to do a 1 year on this guy and so you can flip his clause, his buyout, because I think currently right now his buyout is $10 million. $10 million. He's gonna take a pay cut for COVID to give back money to the athletic department. But the current buyout situation is $10 million. So is it worth it, or do we keep him around? If I feel like 2020 and the COVID effect, as Kobe just pointed out in the comments, I feel like that's going to make him stay because it's cheaper to keep him. If that's not some of the best married advice you could ever get. It's cheaper. And then what's out there? There are some things out there. But it's so hard in college. It's not like the NFL. It's not like in the NFL when you can look and you can say, okay, there's 5 coaches that just got fired. We can pick from those guys. And there's 6 coordinators that's been in everybody's interview process for the last 2 years. College is like you go and look at a program, who brought a program to a certain spot, like a Luke Fickell in Cincinnati, went to a school that's not big time known, and you've done your job. You've gotten them to be respected in the state of Ohio, where the big time program in that state is Ohio State. I don't know. We gotta figure this out. James says, "What if he takes a pay cut?" Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's happening. He's taking one because he's giving back money. Leonardo says he's bringing them down like Nebraska went down quickly. I hope not, because I got another word for that. That's horrible. They wanted to play this year, and here we go. What do they say about divorces? I don't know. I don't know. But tell me what you think. Does it keep him or let him go? Fire him or re-sign him? Or let him stay another year and just go out, just play out his contract? Do you just play out his contract and then you re-sign him? Or do you play out his contract and let him go? I mean, you got this. It's so hard in college football because of the program, the recruiting impact. Then next year, if he's still here and no contract, then every recruiter against him will say, well, you don't even know if he's going to stay. So don't send your kid there. Don't believe anything he's saying. So something has to be done this year. It's either going to be you're going to re-sign him or he's got to go. Something's got to happen. He cannot be a lame duck coach next year. So on the heels of the big game, or the game, as we call it here in the Midwest, for all of our national listeners out there, appreciate you. We are not interested in keeping him. I'm speaking for myself and some other of my Michigan friends. We are not interested in keeping him. And they might hang 70 on us this week. So before I shift gears, put it in the comments for me. Give me your score for Saturday. Give me your score. 12 o'clock, Fox Sports. I'm sure it's going to be 12 o'clock noon, traditional start time of this game. I believe Fox Sports still owns the TV rights to this game for a few more seasons before it flips back over to ABC. Come on, tell me what you think. Here's my prediction. 37-7. 37-7. I don't think they're going to cover the spread, but I don't think they're going to hang 70 on us. 37-7. Deuce's Dad 11 says 73-17. Y'all fool it. Y'all fool it. Listen, if these are real scores, I promise you next week we're gonna just this will be like a 10-second segment and we're moving on. Because I will turn this game off. I will turn this game off by halftime. James says 45-14. Leonardo says 77-10. Kobe says, I think we can't play. Like, the game can't happen. Kobe's hoping for COVID. Michigan resumed activities today. Cedric says 45-14. He's a Buckeye fan. 45-14. So you're online with James. What's up, B? Appreciate you joining us. 42-21. He's a diehard like I am. Everybody's in the 40s. I'm the only one that's trying to give some love to something. I don't know. I guess maybe I feel like Ryan Day will have some mercy on us. So I'm calling 37-7. I'm not even giving them 21 points. I don't even see a scoring points. Now, and here's the thing. Here's why. Other teams have scored points on these guys. Like, their defense is not as good as it's been in the past. I still don't see it. I feel like our offense is just as bad. But, hey, if Michigan State, would they score 10? But I don't know. We lost to them, too. Ooh, Leonardo says Ohio State's backups could cover the spread by themselves. That's probably true. All right, appreciate you guys putting that in the feed for me, man. Those of you that listen to us in podcast land. It is probably another day. If you listen to us on a podcast, we appreciate you. You can always find us in the Purple Podcast app on iTunes. Just look us up at Academy Sports Show, or you can find us on SoundCloud. Go to SoundCloud.com, or you can look us up on the SoundCloud app, and you can listen to us that way as well. We are a podcast, or as Dre would like to say, we are aux ready. I'm rolling solo tonight. It's your host, JWill, in the building. Rolling solo tonight. Dre is out being an adult, working late, taking care of his family. That's what we're actually supposed to do. It is me by myself. We're talking Michigan, Ohio State. The game is this week, this coming Saturday. Putting the scores in the comment section right now. Don't forget to comment. Make sure you share. Make sure you text somebody a link. Man, hit the like button. Share it in your YouTube feed. Share it in Facebook. Share it somewhere. Let people know that I am live and we are live. The Academy Sports Show is happening right now. We're talking a lot of sports as we move on to our next segment. But before we go, let's see. We like to always share these comments. B said we get 3 scores in the fourth quarter when they let up. Oh, okay. That's how you got the 21. Dudes that 11 says Harbaugh pissed Ryan Day off. He's going to release the house. That's what I'm afraid of. That's rumor has it that the words have been said. We gonna hang 100 on y'all. Like we're gonna flip the scoreboard or break the scoreboard. Remember that when scoreboards only had 2 spaces because they never thought people would score that many points. We gonna break the scoreboard on y'all. Free Jim Harbaugh, exactly. Free us. Free us. Free the Michigan fans of what is Jim Harbaugh. All right, let's transition to the NBA. The soap opera, I like to call it the soap opera that is the NBA. Let's talk, man. There's drama going on with drama-filled individuals in the NBA. These are the guys that usually all the drama, the prima donna stuff is happening. It's happening with these guys. Westbrook got traded. What y'all think? Westbrook got traded to the Washington Wizards. Russell Westbrook is in the East. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are together now. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are together now. Is this a meaningful trade or is this a soap? Which one is it? I call soap on this one. Like, who cares? Russell Westbrook is in Washington now. Shift of power in the East. He'll make the All-Star team because he's Russell Westbrook, and the East still won't win because LeBron plays in the West now. Bradley Beal and Russ. Oh, yeah. No. Not even going to watch that. I wouldn't even go see them, like, visiting my city. Russell Westbrook's jumper is broken. And the talk in the media is asking Russ, are you still going to have the same attitude and demeanor that you have on the floor with Washington? He's like, yeah, I'm going to be the same guy. Duh. Let's see. Kobe said Harden could have joined you tonight. He's not at camp. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that in a second. Dude's Dad 11 says it's a so. Hey, Dre, my brother. That brother is being responsible, working late. But he jumped in the show to let me know he was listening. What's up, man? Pops says pass the ball, please. Leonardo says Westbrook is going to give the Wizards more toughness. All right, Leonardo, I feel you there. How many more games are they going to win? Cedric says that may not be a good fit. John says they will make the playoffs. That's about it, though. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. I don't even know. Well, you know what? It's still the East. They can be an A seed. You're right. I agree. They can be an A seed. So they can be an A seed and get knocked out in the first round. So you're going to see some interesting matchups, right? So you'll get to see Russ against KD, right? You'll get to see stuff like that. Dre said Westbrook is the Eastern Conference kind of player. You want to expound on that? So Russ is there. Harden is still in Houston. And he was a no-show for day one of practice. And here's the reason, if you hadn't heard. COVID protocol. COVID protocol, Harden didn't show up to the first day of practice. That was the original reason for him not being there. Only to find out Harden got on a jet, flew to the ATL, was at a friend's birthday party. It got posted on the internet, a picture of him. Everybody in the party is not wearing masks. Yep, COVID protocol, just like you said. Then he was supposed to show up to an individual workout. He didn't show up to the individual workout. Oh, I wonder why. He was in the ATL partying. And then, new news out of the Houston camp, Coach Silas says he's a holdout. They don't know when this dude's going to report. And when you start saying holdout, that means you don't even know if he's going to report. So James Harden is now a holdout. They don't even know when he's coming to camp. He hasn't talked to Coach Silas in weeks. Force yourself out of Houston, right? And go to the Nets. No, please. Don't mess up the Nets. New Jersey, don't do it. We talked about this a few weeks ago on the show. I'm going to say this again. New Jersey, don't do it. Don't do it. I want to hear from you. You like Harden, KD, and Kyrie on the same team? I think that's a disaster waiting to happen. I think that is a debacle. I think that is going to be ridiculous. Y'all tell me. Do you like that? Do you like that three-headed monster? Harden, KD, and Kyrie on the same team. And please, if you like it, I want to know why. Because if you try to sell us on KD and Kyrie can change their games for Harden, that's not going to happen. My dad says no, no, and no. Deuce Data says, I thought they were giving him space. Yeah, clearly they are. Because he's so emotional about what? Like, the first thing I never understood, though, was how could you even be upset? You play in Houston. That team's been made for you for the last 5 years. And you guys can't do anything because you will never win playing that style of basketball. Deuce.11 says, if Harden joined the Nets, it would implode. That's horrible. I agree 100%. John says, there are not enough minutes in a game for all of them to get their touches in. Not enough basketballs to go around. Cedric says, that's a horrible move. Leonardo, Nets have a bench, and I wouldn't give that up for a selfish player who's dribble drunk. Thank you. All right, well, I know I got some good sports people in the show tonight because you agree with me. I think Dre and I both said the same thing, though. That is a horrible move. The stars on the Nets are perfect for what the rest of what the Nets have. AP said that's because LeBron keeps taking all the good role players. True statement. They don't want to go play with James. They want to go play with LeBron. The Nets have what I like to call, I feel like, a complete team. I feel like they have a complete team. The only way that they don't make it, I think, is if Kyrie has an issue. KD likes to be second fiddle. He doesn't really want to be the alpha male. We know because there's history of burner accounts on Twitter. So, to be honest with you, this all hinges on whether Kyrie can lead this team, which we have not seen him be a leader yet. Maybe Steve Nash brings that element that we don't know about. Maybe Steve Nash has a Steve Kerr effect on this team, and that helps him out. But if the Nets get Harden, that would be the dumbest thing ever. AP says it's already going to explode because Kyrie's a head case. I'm trying to give Kyrie a chance. I really am. I'm trying to give Kyrie a chance. I feel like the Nets need to run as far away as they can from James Harden. I feel like James Harden holding out is going to force the Rockets to do something. And I feel like the Wizards are nobody, even with Russell Westbrook. Kobe says Nash won't survive. I think he will. I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. I don't know. I mean, first year guys recently that are point guards have done well, right? Jason Kidd. So I mean, Ty Lue. These guys are Steve Kerr. These guys are doing well. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's shift gears one more time though. We're sticking with NBA. Things are starting to settle. Camps are open. People are practicing. All that stuff's happening. When you look at rosters around the league, you look at where people are right now, kind of that one player still out there, the Harden issue if he ends up being traded or whatever. My question to you is this. We talked about this last week. We talked about the Lakers and what they've done in the offseason. Who is the biggest threat? Come on, let's come off of the call it right now, and let's make it competitive because the NBA can be that. We can think one thing and then they got to play the game. So let's assume they're going to play the games, and let's really look at this wholeheartedly. Take your fandom out of it. I'm asking you for the analytical minds to tell me who's the biggest threat right now to the Lakers. Is it somebody in the West? Can the Clippers maybe still do it if you like Ibaka over Montrezl Harrell, right? Ibaka makes them better. If you think that PG's hungry enough and Kawhi's going to be hungry enough to where this can be legit, they can maybe do something that can knock off the Lakers. Are the Nets, the team we just talked about, with Kyrie and KD and a good bench and a good starting five? Remember, the Nets are the team that were in the bubble and they balled out, and the youngins balled out against everybody. Not against some people, against everybody. The youngins, Karis LeVert, and the crew, they showed everybody we're ready. And that was without their stars. Okay? Is it them? Is it Milwaukee? Is it Portland? A healthy Portland. Dame is always good at knocking somebody off. And they have a complete team as well. Is it Denver? Everybody's sleeping. They're running it back. And they get better. Is it Luka and the Mavs? Let me hear from you. Let's see. Deuce's dad said, I don't see a threat. Maybe a trade deadline move will happen. Okay? Cedric said it's themselves. All right. Injuries. Okay, so only injuries can derail this season. Man, everybody's riding Lakers here. Okay. What else? Fakers will two-peat in the bubble again. The Fakers. Hey. Dre says the biggest threat to the Lakers are Warriors in Boston. I wish he was on here right now because I would have to question the Warriors. I don't understand that one. Boston, I didn't bring them up. That's a good one. That's a hungry team. That's a tough team. That's a very well-coached team. Do they have it figured out with their core group? Do they have it figured out? Is Kemba going to get it together and make some shots? Kemba has to be offensive. You know what else is there. Everybody else is going to be good to go. I think they got better. But can they do it? I don't know about the Warriors. I'm missing that one. Aaron says he's still big game choke artist. Talking about Dame. Ooh. Ooh. I got to ring the bell on that one. Because everybody chokes sometimes. But Dame has made a lot of big shots. So is he really a big game choke artist? Okay. James says Heat Nation. I'm not a believer. I think the Heat caught fire, no pun intended, at the right time. I'm not a believer. I don't think they're going back. If all injuries aside, like let's put up, everybody stays healthy. I don't think they get out the East. I don't think they run it back. Kobe's questioning that Warriors call out. Deuce's dad says the Nets are loaded from 1 to 12 and must be reckoned with. Portland, if they're healthy, all year can be a threat. I'm with Leonardo on this one. Those are my two right there. I think the Nets are the favorite right now. The Nets with the young boys and the 2 stars are the favorite to me to be able to knock off the Lakers. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they're the favorite, barring injury. Portland is always dangerous to me if they stay healthy. That's the only thing. If they never stay healthy. So it's hard to say what that'll be, but they're always dangerous because they always have a good combo of big. They got a guy. They got a second guy. And they got athleticism. Yeah, Deuce's dad says Warriors without Clay's not happening. I'm struggling with the Warriors as well. Kobe said, go back to work. I love you, Dre. Pop said, what, Dre? AP, yeah, but they don't use Kemba right. I agree with you there on Boston. Tristan makes the Celtics 10 times better. Tristan is gonna cause havoc in the East with the Celtics. But I don't know if Tristan's enough to put the Celtics over the top. I feel like the Nets are still that team because they've got bigs to counter Tristan. I think Tristan does make it interesting for other teams in the East, but the Nets have size, athleticism, you got a killer in KD, and you got ball handler and killer in Kyrie. And the only thing that matters is basically, can they cohabitate? We're going to find out. Referring to Dame, Aaron says that big games he disappears. Dre says the Warriors in LeBron's head. Steph, Dre, Kirk, and challenge. Oh, no, bro. He's stepping out. He's going back to work. Appreciate the love, man. I don't know about the Warriors. That's not enough. Who's on the bench for the Warriors? I don't even know who's on the bench. Like their starting 5 is what it is, but then who's coming off the bench after that? I don't know about that working. So it sounds like me and Leo are the only people who think that the Nets or the Trailblazers can do it. Everybody else is basically saying the Lakers are their own worst enemy. Okay. Last question before we shift to NFL and to our final topic of the night. Will the short layoff cause any issues this year? So some of these teams literally just got out the bubble, especially the Lakers and Heat who got all the way to the finals. It's been maybe 2 months. I know they're going to do a lot of R&Rs, going to do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of schedule changes. You got back-to-backs in the same city, stuff like that. At the end of the day, will it have an impact? Do we have to consider that? Does LeBron in his 18th year do we have to worry about that? We know that a pulled groin could derail the Lakers' playoff hopes. We know if he stays healthy like he usually does, they've got a good chance of winning it. But does the layoff have any effect on it? Kobe says, did Clay get healed? I prayed for him, but I didn't get an update. Now, he didn't get that kind of healing, Doc. Clay's out another season, unfortunately. I was looking forward to seeing that. Everybody's a threat. Lakers stay healthy and repeat. The East will beat themselves and won't have anything left. Okay. Yeah, Clay's out for the season. Everybody's on the Lakers right now. The NBA is a soap opera. The reason I say that is because everything you say preseason, it never ends up being that way during the year. Then it usually ends up being that way at the end of the year. So it's, in the middle, it's always kind of interesting to see how it happens. So I'm going to be interested to see, can the Nets compete? Do they stay healthy? Does Portland stay healthy? Do the Lakers stay healthy? Do the new additions? Sportstat Stevens likes to say all the time, it takes more than just putting these guys together on a team to win a championship. So how does that turn out? They got to build new chemistry this year. I think they're better. I think they're definitely a better team than they were last year. I think they have better pieces. We'll see how it goes. All right, appreciate you guys listening to us tonight, man. Appreciate y'all joining me. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. The numbers have been up tonight. Everybody's staying in. We shifted to that last gear. Y'all saw Dre show up in the building real quick. If you haven't already done so, make sure you click the like button. Make sure you click the share button. Make sure you ring the bell. Do all those things so you'll know. We show up every Monday night, usually around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you ever want to watch us live, you can check us out on 3 platforms. YouTube, well, 2, It's 3 if you count 3 pages, but YouTube or Facebook on my Facebook page or on my or Andre's Facebook page at JWilliams, at Andre Douglas. No, Cedric, we're not talking bowling tonight. Inside family joke, maybe later. Leonardo says the problem is COVID and not in the bubble. And not in the bubble, how much of a season is there going to be when you're out a minimum of 10 days? How many games will be lost? That's a good question. Very good question. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out for us. There's just 2 things I really want to go away: COVID and the election. I'm just tired of it. Thank you, Cole. We appreciate the love, man. Let's shift gears. Final topic of the night. The Shield, baby. NFL. Cleveland! This is for you. If you're just joining late, let me rep my city one more time. Yes, sir. Big win on Sunday. Big win on Sunday, baby. 9-3. Clinched a winning season. Thank you, Deuces Dad 11. That means a lot coming from a Lions fan. I know that's pure. I know you're being sincere right now because you know the pain that is being a franchise that hasn't been relevant in a while. Dog check. That's my guy, James, fellow Clevelander fan. Cleveland stand up right now. Everybody in the chat from Cleveland representing 9-3, my Brownies, baby. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. 9-3, big win in Tennessee. Almost gave it up, but not really. I mean, I wasn't worried about losing that game. It was a little bit at first. But at the end of the day, got out of there with the win. We're in. Have we ever been relevant? The Lions? I don't know that you've ever been relevant. The Browns have. They were when I was a kid. Browns are 9-3. Really close to getting in that playoff, getting and breaking that streak. That's all I want this year. That's all I'm asking for. I don't want a Super Bowl. I'll take it. I don't want a Super Bowl. I just want to make the playoffs so we can break that streak and we can stop being the longest streak that's been in the playoffs. Cleveland is known for being on these streaks. We breaking them. We break these curses. This is our year where we break it. All right. Leo. Listen. That's true, Kobe. Barry made y'all relevant because they got to the playoffs once. But Cleveland's 9-3. Big game next week against Baltimore. Hoping for a better situation than what turned out early in the season. I didn't like game 1 anyway. I knew kind of going into that game, beginning of the season, that wasn't going to be good. Knew that blowout was going to happen. However, very excited about this week. 9-3. Multiple reasons for being excited. 1, I feel like we can beat this team. 2, being 9-4 ain't that bad either. Woo! So we got a couple of game cushion up on everybody else chasing this wild card spot. So big time plays yesterday. Stefanski, great play calling. They pulled out the pass and beat a team expecting it to be a running game. We expected a Chubb versus Henry show, and it turned out to be the Baker Mayfield show. Threw for over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 38-7 going into halftime. James said he sees us finishing this thing 13-3. Unfortunately, I don't see that, James. I would love that, but I don't see that, unfortunately. Wait. No, I don't see that. No. I actually think there's another loss on the horizon, but we'll wait till we get to that point. I feel like we're going to beat Baltimore. I think the Giants are going to be tough. Jets are going to be tough. I'm not sure about that Pittsburgh game yet. They're currently up 17-10 right now in Washington, fourth quarter. Pittsburgh's just got a lot of weapons. A lot of offensive weapons. A lot. They're not one-dimensional like a lot of other teams where you could stop something and take something away. Pittsburgh's dangerous. Well, we'll talk top 5 here in a second, but I just got to start there, right here. Got to start right here with my Brownies. Proud, 9-3. We secured a winning season. Check. Another streak off the list. not going for the playoffs. Just get in, baby. That's all I'm asking for. However, I want to switch gears before I do. Yep, you're right, Deuce's dad. Shout it out. DPJ in the building. Kobe says Pitts looking like hot garbage tonight. Yeah, true. When you're undefeated, it's hard, man. They're trying to win every game. These games are going to be grinder games. I think people are expecting Pittsburgh to just keep blowing people out because they're undefeated. I actually think they're going to have to grind out every one of these games till the end. I mean, it's late in the season. Teams, there's a lot of film on you. Teams got you figured out. It's going to be tough for Pittsburgh. They're up 17-10 right now. 13 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Second down and 10. Looks like Pittsburgh's got the ball deep in their own territory, though. So Washington's only one score out. Some people did say Washington could upset them tonight. Some people believe this was a trap game. But I do want to shift gears here because there's some people in the show right now listening, sharing their thoughts, and I appreciate it. I got a question. What's wrong with the Seahawks? Somebody tell me something. What's wrong with the Seahawks? Seahawks lost yesterday. Where my Seahawks fans at? Where my Seahawks fans at? Cedric? Where y'all at? Hasn't been looking good. I think we can say that the MVP talk for Russ is done. It's down to a two-man race. Russ ain't cooking at all. Russ might need his kitchen remodeled. Shout out. Listen, man. Seahawks look horrible. I had them at one point as my favorite in the NFC. Not at all. Not at all. What is going on? They can't score. They can't run the ball. And the defense actually, kind of held things in check, right? I guess. They didn't give up. They didn't give up a bunch of points. So, I expect if let me take a look here. If the team you're playing against only scores 17 points, the Giants score 17 points, I expect Seahawks to score more than 12 points. So I think you're right, Cedric. He can't do it alone. You're right. But why? That's all they have. I'm not saying DK's not a threat. DK's definitely a threat. But that's all this team really is Russ is taking them or he not. And I was disappointed because every week now, because we had people on the show talking about Seattle was in your top 5. I've been watching, waiting, looking for it. James says Seahawks overrated. They got Carson back. He didn't do anything. 17-12 loss. Another story in NFL. Carson Wentz. Oh, boy. Hot garbage. If I had the hot garbage emoji, I'd put it up right now. Is it time for them to move on? Is it time for Carson to go? Or do you just bench him, let him cool off, maybe get him reset, refocus, and then you come back to him? You humble him in a way. The Eagles look horrible. They could still win the East because the NFC East is horrible. But is it time for Carson to go? Do you give up on Carson Wentz? Is Jalen Hurts the quarterback of the future? What do you think? And then, last but not least, the Jets. 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 Cover zero. Blitz. Last play of the game. Touchdown. Previous play. You almost blew it the previous play in zone coverage. Oh, okay. So cover zero. I really wish Dre was on the show because he's my D coordinator. I really would love to hear his take on that. Cover zero. Touchdown, Henry Ruggs. Hey, if Wentz went to the Jets and they changed coaching staffs, the Jets would be good. I think Carson Wentz is a good quarterback. I think he's playing poorly, but I think their whole system is jacked. This is what I understand about teams like the Eagles, teams like the Panthers when Cam was there. Get a guy on the outside. Can you get them some help? Get a wide receiver. It's not Alshon Jeffrey anymore. His days are over. He hasn't been good since the Bears. Get him some help. He has nobody to throw the ball to. He's got an okay running back, but their offensive line is decimated. And that was my same complaint about Carolina. They never gave him a number one target. The one year they went to the Super Bowl, they could run the ball really well. And their defense was really good. And then I think the Russians got a hold of his auntie or somebody in the Super Bowl, and I don't know that Cam. I'm not sure what Cam that was that showed up. So the Jets are going to probably be an offer. They're going to get Sunshine. The Lions won. They're going to get like the 8th pick randomly and probably mess it up. You guys want to make sure you tune in for our draft show because it's going to be hilarious. So all in all, that's week 13 is wrapping up. Pittsburgh 17-10 right now. Washington looks like they're driving a little bit. It's 3rd and 1. First down, Washington. So they might drive this and make this game close. You got Bills, 49ers later on. And then you got somebody else tomorrow. Cowboys, Ravens. So, top 5. Let's talk about it. Put it in the comment section. Let me hear from you. Give me your top 5. Top 5 NFL teams right now. In my top 5, I'm going to throw out a little something about about what I think about the MVP race as well. Because I think it's down to a 2-man race. And I'm going to argue right now for that other man. I know who everybody believes it is right now, but when you look at the numbers, there's a bad man. There's a bad man. And he is putting together a season. Top 5. Let me hear from you. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section. If you listen to us in podcast land, you can still comment. Just go to our page, YouTube. The show will be posted. Go follow us on Facebook at Joel Williams at Andre Douglas. Look for the live feed. It'll be posted. Give me your top 5. Top 5 NFL teams right now coming out of week 13. All things considered, I'm going to assume Pittsburgh's going to win this game. So I'm keeping them in my top 5. But this could change as of midnight tonight. My number 5 is a newcomer to the top 5 because everybody else in this dang on list keeps losing. So I got a newcomer to the top 5 this week. The Los Angeles Rams. My biggest concern about them was consistency. Early on in the year, they'd win a game, then they lose a game. They win a game and look like they're contenders, then they lose a game and look like they run the same 5 plays. It's not going to work all the time. Lately, winning. I like the way they're winning. Offense is scoring, but they're also defending really, really well, scoring a lot of points on defense and on offense. Pressure on the quarterback, stopping the run, being aggressive against big-time receivers. I got the Rams at number 5. Can't be Seattle. It could have been Buffalo. I'm waiting to see. They were in my top 5 until they took the L. So they might return after beating the 49ers if they beat them tonight. 49ers are trying to hang on to their playoff berth or stay in the playoff hunt. But right now, I got the Rams. Can't be Tampa Bay. Dre believes in Tampa Bay. I don't believe in Tampa Bay like that. Can't beat them. So who's your top 5? Talk to me. I'm running mine off. Give me your top 5. Number 4. This team's really good. Really, really good. One of the best teams in the NFC right now. Some people would argue they are the best team in the NFC. I'm not some people. I'm going to argue that they're not the best team in NFC, but they're right up there. They do own the number 1 seed right now. Taysom Hill is playing his butt off. They're winning. It feels different to me, though. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because we haven't seen it yet. I'm not ready to say Taysom Hill could take the New Orleans Saints to a Super Bowl. Do they have a dog defense? Yes. This year's defense, this year's version of the Saints defense is banging heads. They're hitting. They're stopping people. It's not just flashy and they kind of fly to the ball, but you're still going to score 30 on them. No, they're getting to the quarterback. They're stuffing the run. They're doing all the right things. You could argue they're carrying them. Taysom Hill, though, has played well. They beat the Falcons this weekend. I want to say that game was 21-16. Yeah, 21-16. Falcons aren't that good of a team, as Washington just tied the game, or is about to try to tie the game 17-16 after scoring a touchdown. New Orleans, to me, is the number 2 team in NFC, but their record says they're the number 1 team in NFC right now. They're my number 4. Drew Brees is back possibly next week. Do you bring him back or do you let him sit? I say you let him sit a couple more weeks. He broke ribs. You bring him back, he gets hit one good time, he's out again. Let him sit a couple more weeks if you're winning. Then we'll go from there. Right now, I got Saints at number 4. Taysom Hill, all right, respect, doing his thing. I say you keep riding that horse until it's time. You work Drew Brees back in. Maybe work him back in like you work Taysom Hill in it occasionally. But then when you do get him back, you got to find a way to keep Taysom Hill on the field. This prepares them. This does make them multidimensional. This gives you more film to watch if you have to play them in the playoffs. Thank goodness they don't have the Superdome crowd behind them to support them. They're my number 4. My number 3. Oh, boy, I tell you. This, to me, is the best team in the NFC. They're my number 2 favorite team in the NFL, but I'm not calling. I'm going unbiased here. I'm just looking at who they are, what they are, what they've done. Green Bay. Packers are my number 3. Aaron Rodgers arguably is the MVP right now. Talk to me. I'll ring the bell on that because I know some will argue that. I would expect people to argue that because obviously you're going to argue that Pat Mahomes is the MVP. I'm arguing that Aaron Rodgers could be arguably the MVP right now. Right now. Now, if you look at who's more valuable to their team, I would say Aaron Rodgers is. You take Aaron Rodgers off the Packers, it's a wrap. Okay? Now, I'm not saying this about Patrick Mahomes to diminish, but what I am saying is this. Look at what Mahomes has, look at what Rodgers has. Rodgers has Devontae Adams, dog, I got you. He's got Aaron Jones, running back, got you. But you take him away and leave them, that's not it. That's not happening. Aaron just pointed out Rodgers is still a choke artist in the playoffs. Now you got to give me the background on that one. Last year he didn't choke. Last year they got beat by San Francisco and nobody believed they were going to win that game. San Francisco was loaded, pressure, and they could run the ball, and they did. They ran the ball like 50 times against the Packers in the NFC Championship. But he took them to the NFC Championship last year. When's the last time he choked in a playoff game? But I'll stay on topic while you look that up, AP. Rodgers MVP, regular season award, right? Rodgers MVP. Yeah? I think so. Look at the numbers. They both have thrown for over 3,000 yards so far this year. I believe Rodgers has thrown more touchdowns, and then they both thrown, I think, like 2 or 3 interceptions apiece. If I'm just looking at the numbers are comparable. It's not, what's the excuse? These aren't excuses. Every year's the excuse why it can't be that same. What's the excuse? There's no excuse. He was a bad man last year. He took them to the conference championship. They were not the favorites in that game. They weren't supposed to win that game. They didn't. That's not an excuse. 49ers were a better football team. Overall, 49ers had the whole full package last year. It's not an excuse. The year before that, what he played, didn't that the year he messed up his knee and still played on it and still took them to the playoffs? That's a bad man up there in Green Bay. Bad man. I'm just saying. If you look at the numbers, pull it up, look for yourself. Like if you're in church and they say, read the Bible for yourself. Open the scriptures yourself. Take a look. The numbers are similar. Mahomes thrown for more yards. I believe 3,800. I believe Rodgers around 3,300. Look at touchdowns. Look at interceptions. Look at QBR. I think there's an argument there. For me, again, coming in at number 3, Green Bay. I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think they can beat New Orleans today. I think Green Bay can beat New Orleans today. Especially the Taysom Hill New Orleans. I think Green Bay can beat them. I think it would be a shootout. But I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Taysom Hill. So I'm putting Green Bay at number 3. Only thing I don't understand about Green Bay is why don't you run the ball to Aaron Jones more often? I see your point, AP. Why don't you run the ball to Aaron Jones more often? I don't understand. That's the only thing that gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves for 2 reasons. 1, fantasy. He's on my team. But 2, balance it out. You're a better football team if you balance it out. If you can run it and throw it with A-Rod and give A-Rod some play action, that's ridiculous. I got Green Bay at number 3. Number 2, all things considered. All things considered. Now, it's looking interesting here tonight. Again, I don't believe that Washington's going to pull this out. But, hey, make a believer out of me, Washington football team. Make them 11-1 and my Browns are 9-3, and then we can maybe beat them and make them a second loss, and maybe somebody else knocks them off, and we could still win an AFC North title. Talk to me, Cleveland! All right, that was a little far. But I think Pittsburgh wins this game tonight. I got Pittsburgh at number 2. They're my number 2 best team in the league. They had been at number 1 for a few weeks. I knocked them down last week because just the way Kansas City was going about things. And Pittsburgh's staying at number 2 right now this week. 1, because they hadn't played yet. 2, I think they're the second best team in the league. I think what they're doing right now is really hard to do. I think we'd be foolish to think that they're going to just keep blowing people out just because they're 11-0. That's not how it works. It is hard to win in the National Football League. And my number 1, obviously, is Kansas City Chiefs. That quarterback in Kansas City is a bad man too. He's a bad man too. So they struggle against the Broncos. That just goes to show you how hard it is to win in the NFL. They struggled against the Broncos. Broncos played them tough. Ran the ball, held the ball long, tried to keep them off the field. I don't think the Chiefs scored a touchdown until late third quarter, early fourth quarter. So it's hard to win in the NFL. These are big games, especially late in the season. A lot of people say, hey, things are won December, January in the NFL. It's hard to win. 17-17 right now, 2nd and 10. They're putting a lot of pressure on Roethlisberger. Let me hear from you. Your top 5. So here we go. Leonardo, Chiefs at number 1. Pittsburgh number 2. Packers number 3. Saints number 4. Bills number 5. Me and Leonardo have the same top 5, except I have the Rams at number 5. He's got the Bills. So our top 4 match. James got KC at number 1. Steelers number 2. Saints at number 3. Packers at number 4. He's got the Brownies at number 5. James, is there a little bit of fandom in that? Do you believe that the Browns are better than the Bills right now? The Browns are better than the Rams right now. Talk to me, James. Listen, I got the hat on. You know, we talked about this already. I rep my city. But I gotta be, analytical. I gotta be a podcast host. I can't just be saying random things or y'all would turn this off like this is ridiculous. He talking crazy. The Browns have 5. You believe that? They're better than those teams I just named. Are they better than the Seahawks, even though the Seahawks haven't looked good? I'll believe with you. Just want to know. Who else? Give me your top 5. Kobe, give me your top 5. AP, give me your top 5. Cedric, give me your top 5. Deuces, Dad, give me your top 5. Pops, give me your top 5. Calling on you right now. Give me your top 5. We're going to get ready to wrap up the show. But tell me what your top 5 is. Pittsburgh's 17-17, 4th and 1. They're going for it. Snaps the ball. Ooh, double move. Got him. Oh, bad throw by Roethlisberger. Washington gets the ball. 4 minutes and 53 seconds to go. If Pittsburgh loses to Washington, do they fall out of the top 5? Or is this a trap game? A lot of people said this was a trap game. Ryan Clark said the best time to play the Steelers or the Ravens is the week after they played each other. And we know that neither team looked very good last week. So give me your top 5. My top 5, KC at 1, Pittsburgh at 2, Green Bay at 3, New Orleans at 4, the Rams at 5. As we begin to wrap things up. Next week we get into week 14. Big games. Cleveland and Baltimore at home in Cleveland. Big matchups. Let me take a look at the schedule. Let's jump over to week 14 real quick. Run through these pretty quickly. James said the Browns are better than the Bills. All right. What about the Rams? Put those top 5s in there. Leonardo says, I'm a Steelers fan. I was worried about Washington. That's fair. Washington looks like they're trying to drive. Next week, we got Houston at Chicago. Boom, boom, boom. Houston. Dallas at Cincinnati. Boom, boom, boom. This is bad. Dallas. Kansas City at Miami. That's going to be a good one. Miami's got a very gritty defense. Kansas City be down in that warm weather. Be a track meet unless it's raining. It'll be interesting. I think Kansas City's still better than Miami. I think Miami's a year early. But record says otherwise. They are in the hunt right now to make the playoffs. But Kansas City and Miami next week, that's going to be fun. Those of us in the wild card hunt for our teams, I'm hoping Kansas City wins that game. I need anybody in the wild card hunt to lose so that we can make the playoffs. Arizona and New York. Arizona should win that game because they think they're better, but New York is playing better right now. I'm still going to go. You know what? I'm going to go New York Giants 2 in a row. Minnesota at Tampa Bay. Ooh, Minnesota's back in the hunt. I think Tampa Bay gets back on track, though, and they get a dub. Denver at Carolina. I like Denver in that one. Tennessee at Jacksonville. Tennessee's going to be angry. King Henry's going to run all over Jacksonville. See, Indianapolis at Las Vegas. I like Indianapolis because of their defense. Jets at Seattle. Obviously, Seattle. Seattle thanks the football gods for getting that matchup. Green Bay at Detroit. Yes! Go, Pat, go. Boom. Dun-dun. Go, Pat, go. Saints at Philly. Like the Saints in that one. Philly's a dumpster fire. Atlanta at the Chargers. I think Atlanta wins that game. Poor Chargers. They need to fire their coach. Washington at San Francisco. I like San Francisco in that. And then Pittsburgh at Buffalo. That's the 8 o'clock game. That's going to be really, really good. I think Pittsburgh wins that game, though. Buffalo just, something about him. Oh, what a catch. What a catch by Sims. I don't know what his first name is, but he just made a nice one-handed grab, and now they're in field goal range. And could be interesting because they could almost maybe take this down to nothing and kick a field goal to win the game. Let me see what kind of timeouts we got left on Pittsburgh side of things. And then the Monday night game, baby. Cleveland. 8:15 Monday night. Baltimore at Cleveland, national television. I'm excited about that. I'm picking the Brownies. Let's see. Pop says Kansas. He's got Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Saints, and the Bills at 5. All right, agreeing with others. Cedric said the top 5 is all jumbled. Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Woo. You gave me 3, but you got Cleveland in your top 5 with James. Woo. Fandom. I'm not there yet. I wish I was there. If I were there, that would make me nervous to wish that, to think that would be the case. All right, Pittsburgh just called timeout. 2:17 to go. Alex Smith trying to pull off a big win and knock off the Steelers. The Washington football team. The Washington football team. All right. Hey, man, appreciate you guys joining us tonight or joining me tonight. As always, man, we appreciate all the support. Don't forget, you can always listen to us in podcast land on the Purple Podcast app, and on iTunes, or you can listen to us on SoundCloud. Just search our show out. We're on both. Just look us up, Academy Sports Show, Academy Sports Show, Academy Sports Show, Academy Sports Show. Look us up. You can listen to us in podcast land. If you listen to us and it's not a Monday, we appreciate you listening. Make sure you click the like. Make sure you tell us. Give us your feedback. Comment on the podcast. Let us know what you think. If you ever want to watch us live, check us out on YouTube. Check us out every Monday night, live around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That changes every once in a while. We are family men. We're adulting out here. We have wives. We have kids. That's why Dre isn't with us tonight, because he's out there earning that check. So big ups to my man Dre. Wasn't able to join us tonight, working the late shift. But if you are listening to us in podcast land, you can watch us live on YouTube every week. Just look us up, Academy Sports Show. Click the bell, subscribe to our page so you'll know when we are going live. You get that alert and you could jump in just like everybody did tonight. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Academy Sports Show and on Facebook at Academy Sports Show. If you want to follow us individually, you can follow us on Instagram at JWill 02, or you can follow us on Dre_on-air, or check us out on Facebook at Joel Williams or at Andre Douglas. Ooh, he dropped it. 4th and 10. Kick the field goal and give it back to Roethlisberger, and there goes the win, because I think Pittsburgh goes down and wins this game. All right. Got to run, 9-pin, no tap. All right, Cedric. But again, appreciate you guys joining us. And most of all, we appreciate our sponsors. Most of all, Von's Plumbing. Von's Plumbing. Now, y'all know this is usually Dre's read. I'm going to try to do my best. Von's Plumbing, both licensed and insured. Von's Plumbing. They'll get you up to code, waterproofing, or home repair. You can check them out at vonsplumbing.com, or you can call them at 313-304-7786. That's vonsplumbing.com. You can check them out, see what all the services are that they offer, or you can just call the man at 313-304-7786. They will take care of you. Tell them that the fellas over at the Academy Sports Podcast Sports Show Center, and they'll hook you up, man. Good guy. Always took care of me. Always took care of the village family, man. So we appreciate the pastor, the good right Reverend Dr. Elder Pastor Von, and the owner of Von's Plumbing. Check them out, vonsplumbing.com, or call them at 313-304-7786. All right, folks, I'm not going to stay on and commentate this last piece. Looks like, what? Oh, from that angle. Oh, I like that from that angle. That looked like he missed it. He made it, though, right? All right, yeah. So 20-17. Washington is up. A little bit over 2 minutes to go. 2:04 to go. Man, I'm sorry. 2:04 to go. One timeout for Pittsburgh. They're going to tie this game. That's just how I feel about it. Hey, I appreciate the love tonight. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Appreciate you, James. Appreciate everybody. Cedric, James, Leonardo, AP, Deuces Dad 11, Mama V, Pops, Kobe. Let me go back up here and make sure I got everybody, man. Kobe, I said that. Deuces Dad 11. Brian, Dre jumped in, helped, and said a few words. John, appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping in there, hitting me up. Who else? I think that was it. producer, I forgot his name, his tag. But everybody, man, appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you check us out next week. We'll be back 7 o'clock, same time, same place. Hopefully I have my man's back next to me. But until then, enjoy these last 2 minutes. Enjoy the rest of this football. And, hey, next Monday, I don't know what we're going to be talking about from that game on Saturday. Pray for the Michigan Wolverines. I'm out, man. Talk to y'all later.